Hi guys, so welcome back to the channel. It's Arabic Blog, and in this video we'll be talking about how to draw support and resistance. So we're going to be talking about the secret strategy that helps you accurately draw support and resistance. Support and resistance is one of the most important concepts in technical analysis today, whether you're trading crypto, stocks or forex. And in all these markets, support and resistance is pretty much the same concept. You can use it to trade crypto, you can use it to trade stock, and you can use it to trade forex. So this particular concept is very important because almost every trader all across the world use them to identify areas where they should buy or sell. So what are support and resistance? The support simply means an area in which buyers are likely to come into the market and push the price higher. It means that buyers have previously in the past at that particular area or range, they have previously come into the market and put the price higher. So it gives a potential room, it gives a room for a potential change in price of the market to a move towards the upside. While resistance is the opposite, it simply means a place where sellers are likely going to come into the price and put the price lower. Simply because in the previous time, sellers have actually come into the market at that particular point and put the price lower. So support and resistance is more like a psychological area on the chart. It's never a straight line. It is never a straight line, so it's more of a psychological area on the chart where price has reacted to in the past and is likely going to react to in the future. As much as we know that in an uptrending market, a market that is trading into the upside, which is an uptrend market, we want to be looking for buying opportunities, and a downtrend market, you want to be looking for selling opportunities. But then in an uptrend, you only buy when the market hits a particular support level, while you only sell if the market hits a resistance level. So you want to be buying at support and selling at resistance, no matter whether the market is an uptrend or in a downtrend. So now let me just give you a brief outlook of what support and resistance looks like on the chart. So let's look at this particular chart of Solana USDT. So let's say in the market, let's say the market starts moving like this, goes up, then reverses to this point, goes up again, reverses here, goes up, reverses, goes up here, reverses, goes up, reverses here, goes up again, and reverses. You will see that anytime the market comes back to this particular area, buyers are willing to push into the market and buy. So what this simply means is that, let's use an example of an iPhone. Let's say an iPhone costs $26 at this point, and you'll be like, okay, that's a cheap price. Then a lot of buyers come in and buy it, and once a lot of buyers come in and buy it, that's a lot of demand already filled. The price goes up because almost everybody has it. Almost everything in the market have been packed, and the price goes up in price. But then sellers saw that the price has gone up and they start selling. So once everybody is selling, price starts dropping again. So people now expect that whenever the price drops, they want to buy. So at the point when the price dropped to $26, some people are able to buy, it went up again, then dropped again to $12. Some people were able to buy, it went up to $92, then it dropped back to $31. Some people are able to buy, and they keep doing something like that. And an area in your chart where whenever price comes to that area, people are willing to buy. They see the asset that it is cheap. It is called an area of support. It is not a straight line. As you can see, using this illustration, is more like an area. So the area will cover some different numbers, and people can always buy within this area. And also, consequently, if you look at this area, you see that this is an area of resistance, because anytime price comes to this area, sellers are willing, people that already have the asset of sellers, they are willing to sell the market or short the market. So that's what support and resistance mean. So we want to be looking for support to buy and resistance to sell. So consequently, anytime price approaches, let's say price goes up and it now comes down, anytime price approaches this support, tend to look for opportunity to buy. Now, there are two things that happen at support and resistance. Sometimes the support will hold, and sometimes the support will hold. So for example, So let's say that price comes to this area of support this way, price goes up, goes up again, comes down, goes up, comes down, goes up, and at this point it breaks the support and it starts trending downward. We would say that the support has been broken, right? And all these times that the price did not break the support and the price kept going up, we say the support holds. So two things happen at support. You wait for opportunities to buy, then buy. But if opportunities to buy do not present themselves, there is probability that the support is going to break, and if it's break, the trend has been changed from an uptrend to a downtrend. So now, when support breaks, it creates a new resistance the support turns to resistance. So at this point, you can see this place is support, right? But after the support has broken to the downside, this particular line or area that used to be support has now turned to resistance, because what do I call this resistance? Anytime price comes down and tries to go up to this area again, the price is resistant and it's keep dumping. So this support, this place that used to be support, at this point has turned to resistance. Resistance can also turn to support. For example, let's say price goes up, reverses, goes up, reverses, goes up, reverses, goes up, reverses. That area has turned to resistance. Then let's say it goes up, breaks the resistance, reverses, and it starts going up. We would say that the resistance here has turned to support. This is the resistance here. It got broken here and it has turned to support. That is simply what support and resistance mean in the crypto, forex and stock market. So how do you draw support and resistance in the market? So once you have a chart like what you have, this is a chart of Solana USDT. The first thing you have to do is to zoom in your chart. You see that this chart is zoomed in. I can actually see a lot of things on my chart, right? So you zoom in your chart, then you look at areas where price has reacted to in the past multiple times. So you can see this is an area, right? This is also an area. This particular price point is an area, right? This is also an area. This particular point is an area price has reacted to multiple times, right? This is also an area. You can also call it an area on your chart where price has reacted to multiple times. So we call it an area. So those are the obvious areas on your chart. One of the mistakes people do is that they complicate things. If it is obvious that this price has touched this area a couple of times, you'll be able to see it without stressing yourself. Is it obvious? You ask yourself. If it is obvious, you draw it. If it is not, you just leave it out. So you draw the obvious levels on your chart. Then you adjust. And one of the rules is that these levels must have at least 2 touches. You can see this one you draw here. This 1 touch, right? So this is 1 touch. This is another touch here. This is another touch today. This is another touch around here. This is another one which is pretty close, but it is not an exact touch. But you know, I said support and resistance are areas and not straight lines. So most of the time I prefer to draw my support and resistance using this box tool. Instead of using the straight line, I use this box tool. So this box tool is to be able to capture all these moves together from this point to this ones. Right, so a support and resistance must have at least 2 touches. It must have at least two touches. So you can see, if you look at all these areas that are drawn here, see that we have at least one, 2. Then this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and if you drag it, you see that it keeps respecting this particular area. Right, so now if you look at this one too, you see it has multiple touches. So you can actually have an area here as well. But one of the things you have to understand as a trader is that you don't want to have your chart messed up with too many charts, because the market is currently at $234. You don't really have any business with all these areas down here unless the market now comes to this area. You can actually draw them, but when you are trading, you focus on this area, and if the market drops below this area, focus on the next area after it, which is probably somewhere around here too, which should be drawn. Right, so that is how to draw split. You see that my chart is neat. Some people draw the chart and it is a mess. But this chart is pretty neat and you can see the areas. So now, one of the things you have to do is to adjust these areas to get the most number of touches. So you can see, I can simply adjust this, maybe this way, right? But instead of adjusting, the best thing you can use is to use this rectangle tool. Once you use this rectangle, you click on rectangle tool, you'll be able to capture all this area without having to start adjusting. So just capture all this area, and you can drag your rectangle tool to be as big as you want, and also drag it to be as small as you want. So that is pretty simple and straightforward. So let's look at another chart and draw support and resistance level. So let's look at the chart of BTC USDT. This is the chart of BTC USD, right? So you would see that we have BTC USD. Let's switch to the 4-hour time frame. You see, I have areas already drawn on this chart. You can see I have an area here which is like a support. This is another area which is a resistance which was broken at this particular point. This resistance was broken at this particular point. Then this is another area, and this is another area that needs to be broken. So support and resistance drawing is simple. All you have to do is spot area on your chart where price has reacted to a couple of times. At least you must have 2 touches. Draw a straight line here and adjust to touch to get the number of touches, or use your rectangle and get something that's going to cover for most of the touches you have here, and you trade from this area. So now what do? At resistance you sell, at support you buy. But you have to understand that in a bull market or in an uptrend, you want to look for buying opportunities, which means this resistance, as much as resistance is for selling, I want to first wait and see if the market is going to break this resistance and continue the buying, because the moment this resistance breaks, it turns to support and the market starts continue going up. But if the resistance fails to break and the market starts dropping, then we might have a change of character or a change in the movement of the market. So that is simply how to look at support and resistance. So let's go back briefly to that Solana chart and see some beautiful explanation. So now, if you look at this chart, if you want to trade this chart using support and resistance, you know at this particular point is a support and the market is an uptrend. So you want to look for buying opportunities for the market to continue higher, right? So at this point, the market was, let's analyze from this point. At this point, the market was at the support. You can see anytime price broke it here, came back up, support here, supported there, and started going up. So at this point, it was under support, right? Price went up and it could not break the support to the downside and start going. So at support, look for buying opportunities. Unless support is broken clearly, you don't want to be selling at support. And at resistance, you look for selling opportunities. Unless it is a clearly bullish market and the resistance is not strong, then you look for selling opportunities. So that is simply how to draw support and resistance on your chart, whether you are trading crypto, forex, and stocks. I hope this video is valuable, and I hope you got value from this video. If you did, ensure you subscribe to the channel, smash that like button that this video gets to a lot of people, and I'll see you in the next one.